Hey, this is Naomi.
Ari.
Treasure.
And me.
We are Caribbean cousins.
Having open.
Candid conversations.
About our upbringing.
And much more.
Continue listening to
Spill the Tea with us.
Hey,
y'all.
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
we did it. We're here.
Can you guys believe it? We made it so far to a podcast.
We've been talking about this since I lived in Texas. That is how long we've been talking about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's been how long?
2021.
We've been talking about having a podcast for a year, but we've been doing this for about 2.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's okay. We'll get into it. That's what this whole episode is about. Yes, this episode is our Genesis episode. All right, so how's everybody's week going?
It's all right. It's all right. If I wasn't sick, but hey, it is what it is.
Aww. I didn't know you were sick.
It's just a little cold, but it's the cold to just be taking over.
Thanks.
Yeah. Are we Gucci? We Gucci.
How about you, Ari?
It was pretty good. I mean, it literally on Sunday I saw y'all. So that was a good highlight of the week. Even though the occasion was, pretty morbid, it was still nice to see everybody. It was a highlight of the week. Because I haven't really been doing much this week, but like busy stuff. So, and any opportunity to get dressed up.
That's exactly how I felt.
And connect with family, because it's so sad that sometimes that's the only time you really see family. If there's a planned event of any occasion, that's when people are like, oh, I gotta show up. And so
yes, definitely. Oh, so for the people that do not know what we're talking about,
that's true, let them know.
Yes, so the people that don't know what we're talking about, my grandma, who is kind of one of the OGs of really starting all the cousins coming together for tea time, she sadly passed away on 4/23/2022, but she's up there. I know she's having a ball and everything like that. So yeah,
it's almost like this podcast is a way to like commemorate her, because it's like whenever she exits, it's whenever we launch,
Yep.
We are honoring our grandparents, because all of our grandmothers are like OGs here, and the ones that are gone, like they are some. I can't fill her shoes, but they are on another level. So they are who they are. They kind of helped us who we are. They give us our moms, and then here we are trying to do the best we can to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely. So we could dedicate this episode to our grandmothers. I feel like that'll be the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Treasure, how's your week been?
So my week has been. My week has been preparing for the thrift store, actually putting out orders. I'm so glad that Emerald was a customer.
Yes, I made a
no
purchase.
Pressure. But
no, I fell in love, so I had to.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. And just getting used to putting through orders and stuff like that. Waking up really early, realizing it's taking a lot of energy. Like it's part-time money, but it's full-time energy. And I'm just like, woo! But no, I'm glad I'm starting it and just balancing that with school and all the other parts. So it's been a really busy week. And I wake up at like 6 a.m. naturally, but I've been really moving. And I'm tired by 9 o'clock every day. Like I'm on this couch like my mom and falling asleep. Like watching the show and falling asleep. I'm just like, I am my mother. Mommy, I'm you. Like I said, her go to bed and she's still just falling asleep. Like that's me. Then I go to my bed. I do it all over again. But yeah, it's been a busy week. Tired.
I feel you. I feel like this week I have been tired, but I've been so excited to finally make this podcast happen. So it's been a tiring week, but I am super excited right now. All right, so how about we talk about what we've been loving for the past week or months? I know I've been really enjoying my yoga classes. I know I've talked about it with you guys before, but my yoga teacher at my gym, after class I hung out a little bit and she was like, Oasis, I really enjoy you being in my class. And I was like, oh, you noticed that I love you. Like, it's not a class without you. I really appreciate your energy.
Aww.
And she's like, if you have any friends, just bring them on because your energy is amazing. So I know theirs would be too. So that was kind of the highlight of my week. That was my little favorite.
The best compliment ever when somebody sees you based on your energy.
Because I barely speak in the class because, I mean, of course, we're moving around. Like, even though you come in late sometimes, which is most of the time, she's like, you just uplift everything. And I'm like, girl, stop it. But keep on going because I'm Leo and I love it. But yeah. What about
For me, I've been loving Love It or List It show on HGTV. Been obsessed. And sometimes I can't pick a side with the lady who be remaking the house and the guy who be finding the new houses, but I know, but I love it. I've been just like, wow. But that has 2 bedrooms. That one has 3 bedrooms. Like, I feel like I'm in the show with them, so I just been tuning in. How about y'all?
I've also been loving reality TV, except this isn't as classy, but I've been loving Bling Empire on Netflix. Oh my gosh. I'm just now getting into it. Oh my God. Well, I actually finished it yesterday, but I've just been loving it. I've been loving wow.
It's something about these Asians. Something about them, right?
They just have it. Like,
You good? I forgot about reality shows. I've been watching Circle. I'm obsessed with it.
I love Circle.
I've watched every single season, and I think next week is the final, and I'm just like watching edge of my seat. So I guess my favorite thing is a combination of watching reality shows before bed, making sure I perfect my night routine. And so just, I say after a long day, I'm gonna get all my work done so I can just sit with my feet up and watch a show and snack on something or drink some tea and just chill. Like the end of my day, as long as I have one show to fall asleep to, I'm good to go. And so, yeah, cup of tea, feet up, it's all worth it. It's all worth a really long day. Like,
I just started to watch The Circle, the new season that just came out, and I love it. I'm definitely going to go back and watch like the other seasons and finish this one.
I'm at the edge of my seat. It gives me everything I need. Like, and to me, all the gay people give me so much sass and energy, and I just love them. Like, to me, life is not, I don't care what anybody says, like, life is better with queer people because they're just sassy, energy, life. Like, you just need them. You need them.
Do y'all know what voguing is? Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, you good. No, you good.
Okay. Do y'all know what voguing is?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, from the ball scene, the dance style that was like made by queer people, the ones where they're like, I can't do it. But there's this TikTok page of this group of kids. That be voguing through the halls. It is the best thing I've ever seen in my life.
Put that in our cousin chat, please.
Oh my God.
Because when I tell you, their energy gives you life, and it's legit in their high school.
I know.
So like you see them like passing their lockers, and the cinematography of it to just be on TikTok is
I know, because the like that style of like recording is also like Vogue style stuff, like everything. Like I want to play it. Is that copyright?
Is so good.
Yeah, probably not. Probably just, as I said, put in our cousin chat, and the fact that we're telling people to look it up that don't know about it is going to be enough. I just feel like if you don't know about it, we'll put it in the show notes. Y'all will find out about it. Get inspired. Get some queer happiness in your life. Like that's really all you need. A lot of energy, a lot of hypeness. Like the world operates on good energy and good vibes. So please, we need all of it.
Exactly. Just for the notes. So like whenever y'all are listening back, like, or we're listening, like to put it, it's called Moana Bih, like Moanabih, like Moana Bih. Like
all right, I'll make sure to put it in. But it's so good. Oh my gosh. Also Legendary. I'm starting to watch it. It's an HBO show that has like a lot of the ball scene in it, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Y'all seen Pose?
It's on my list and I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, watch it.
Where can I watch it?
Netflix.
Oh, okay.
I think it's on Hulu too.
Me too, okay. I think so. Sometimes the episodes aren't updated. I'll be checking which one has the updated episodes, like the whole list of episodes.
Hulu will have it more updated, but Netflix has every season but their final season. And I don't think the final season aired yet.
Okay. I'll make sure to look that up. All right. So let's go ahead and go into our topic. So this episode is definitely just going to highlight the beginning of us,
like,
as we know it. Who are we? All that stuff. So let's go ahead and dig into it. How about we just introduce ourselves? So like introduce our names, things that we love to do as well. You want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. I'm Naomi Oasis. So I go by Naomi. I also go by Oasis. I really enjoy modeling and acting. That's primarily what I do. But I am so big on self-care and self-love and just doing everything that you want to do in life. So, yes. Who's next?
Go. My name is Emerald. I like green. I love pretty much anything that has to do with being creative. Music. I love movies. I love creating stuff. I love makeup, fashion, art. You name it, I like it. That's pretty much who I am, and pretty much what I do.
I'll go next. My name is Ariel, or Ariel, or Ariel, or Ari. I go by a lot of different names. Yeah, I mean, it's not really my fault. People call me whatever, and I just don't care. Something I'm really interested in is really a combination of what everybody says, just taking care of myself, making sure that I'm doing the best I can when it comes to myself, working. Something I'm very passionate about is just entrepreneurship and like having my own business, having my own brands, stuff like that. Having something to my name, holding my own.
Hey y'all, my name is Treasure. I currently live in Hawaii. I'm a military wife, good stuff. And I'm also really passionate about having my own. Like for me, what represents me is happiness, authenticity, and freedom. Like I want freedom and people to choose what's best for them and to have your own mind, your free mind. And that's kind of what I represent. So I'm happy that I can connect with the cousins and I'm super hyped to keep sharing who we are.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go back to like the beginning. All right. So let's go to where we were born. So I was born in Brooklyn. Where were you guys born?
I was also born in Brooklyn.
And I was also born in Brooklyn.
I was not born in Brooklyn.
I'm kidding.
However, I was born next door, low-key, which is Michigan, Detroit, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, neighbor. Yes, so we were all born
I feel like I don't know why I didn't think about where you were born. I don't know. Maybe I assumed New York or Texas. I just kind of didn't realize it was Detroit. So,
yeah.
Detroit native. From Detroit, we already know.
Let me just say, my mom was born in Plaisance, Guyana, and my dad was born in Georgetown, Guyana. Let's put that out there.
Yes.
So I spent some time of my life going back and forth to mostly Antigua and different Caribbean countries. Like our parents and for me are immigrants, so it's that back and forth that we experienced growing up, at least for me.
Definitely. I know I experienced all back and forth. So I know that I went from we'll talk about how we got to Houston, Texas. But I remember I was always at my mom's house in Houston. Then I would go back to New York with my dad. My mom's Guyanese. Different days, she's from different places. But we'll go with Pleasant. That's the most common one.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad, he is Trinidadian. So I would go to my dad's house, and sometimes he would send me with my aunt, or he sent me with my aunt one time to Trinidad, which was fun and beautiful in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, did you guys experience back and forth, Ariel and Emmy?
Of course, same situation. My mom is here. My dad is in New York. He's in Queens. So I remember when I was younger, like up until 10 years old, both me and my mom would go back and forth from here, Houston, and New York all the time, mainly because my mom's best friends, who are also like my godparents, they lived in New York. So she like wanted to see them all the time and stuff like that. And like seeing my dad and stuff like that. And now more than ever, I do a lot of back and forth between there. So I think it's just something that's ingrained in all of us, because like our parents are people that had to learn how to stand up and pack up from a country to move to a completely different country, and but still go back there because they have people over there and stuff like that. So because they're so used to doing that, it's something that they subconsciously put into our system,
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Excuse me. For me, both my parents are, I think, both of them are from Plaisance, I think, or one of them is from Georgetown, the other one is from Plaisance. But either way, they're both Guyanese. My parents actually met in New York. My mom was living in Michigan.
I remember.
Yes. So there's been a lot of moving around. Honestly, that's a whole story in itself of my childhood. I spent a lot of time moving around from Detroit to Houston for many different reasons. But like I always said, that moving around back and forth has definitely been ingrained in all of our childhood. And
yeah, I didn't really think about that until you hear other people growing up and you're like, yeah, I've lived in the state my whole life. And I'm like, I went to 3 middle schools. I was in middle school in New York, and I went to 2 in Texas. Was it 3 in Texas? I feel like it's 2. No, it's 3. Yo, I don't know. I just went to a lot of middle schools before we finally settled down in one spot.
But you know what's crazy? We all went to the same high school.
Yes.
I know.
That's so cool. We all came
different
together.
Years, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, different years, but we all made it to the same high school. Like, that's crazy.
We were all within a 15-minute radius. First, yes. At some point we came together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, very close. Like, it's one strip, like one road down, and you're just like, oh, here's Ariel's house, Naomi, Emerald and her family living there. And even though we move away back and forth, we find our way to each other.
Yes, every single time. And we could honestly get into that. Like, at one point in time, we were in the same apartment complex or right next to each other in an apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
I know that me and Ariel shared a wall.
I know.
Shared a fence. And then Treasure was legit down around the corner.
My apartment was 101, and I remembered 101 Dalmatian, so I didn't get lost. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I live in apartment 101, and if I need anything, or every Saturday, every Sabbath, we'd have lunch at Ariel's house, in Deborah's house, lunch at Auntie Jackie. We see Aunt Jay, we have her pie, we have different desserts. Like, we all would just go see each other. I remember Emerald lived on a street, Dixie Farm Road. That's all I remember. He lived in a house in Dixie Farm Road. You're really little and then you moved back, but
Yeah,
I remember the house you
remember
stayed in.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember, first of all, you always went to Cousin Enna for the amazing pine tarts. Oh my goodness.
All the dessert, all the goodies.
Yes, they're just so good. Like Cousin Enna pine tarts, my grandma, Aunt Jay, she was there for the apple pie.
When I came to Auntie, it was the cornbread for me. Like, that's what had me. I remember she used to come over often every night, a lot of times when my mom was at school. And, talk name with, Cousin Edna, but I always brought cornbread. And of course, I was like 4 years old. I couldn't like process really what they were talking about. But now that I like know who they are,
they were talking straight shit. Like
always talking stuff. Mm-hmm. Always asking me questions, and I'm trying not to be rude, but like I don't want to ask these. I don't answer these questions you asking me. Very direct.
Listening. Very direct. In your business.
To the point that it hurts your feelings a little bit. You're like, excuse me.
Mind your own business, but at the same time, when she's talking to other people,
I know.
I just want to listen.
So, if you think about your memory of your childhood growing up, what do you remember about Upper Bay Road? Like, what do you remember about? It was significant, if you can remember. No pressure.
I remember it was my apartment and Naomi's apartment across the fence. I just knew because it was like our moms were best friends and our grandmas were best friends, like sisters. And then I grew up knowing Naomi's a sister. They would come over all the time. We were just always around each other. I remember I was in apartment 311 because I didn't, of course, because at that time I didn't know how to differentiate accents and Patwa, these things. So I always would tell people, I'm in apartment 311, and everyone would be like,
yo, they used to get me in trouble too.
The thing is, it was 113.
Oh yeah, it was 113.
Yeah, you flip-flop that. Hey, whatever you can remember.
113,
and I was in 111.
That's funny. Yeah, I know it now. I'd always be like, yeah, I'm in apartment 113.
Oh my god.
Do you have any memories, Emerald? And if not, like, what is your most recent memory of us being together?
Let me think. Most of my memories included Kelda, which is another cousin of ours who now live in England. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the times, whenever my parents would work, I would be with her. That was the time when she lived under Naomi. Don't remember when that was.
Top. Didn't she live on top?
Mm-hmm. No, she topped. Yeah, I think it was on top. Mm-hmm. Right. So a lot of times I'll go to her house. Sometimes I'll sleep over. We'll play dolls. We'll be making crafts. Her mom will be doing my hair. That was the first time I had cereal with warm milk.
That's such a Caribbean thing. That warm milk thing. I haven't had that since I was in Brooklyn, man. That's old school.
I vividly remember that. And Malia, my little sister, after that, she would not have cereal without warm milk. It had to be warm. And so, yeah, a lot of my memories was with my cousin Kelda and her family.
Yes. I remember coming upstairs at night and you and Kelda were like, Malia will not shut up and will not stop singing her colors in Spanish.
Yes, Rojo Red.
Bro, and the thing is, she had the smallest little voice, and you could hear when she's about to like fall asleep, and she would wake herself up because she's still singing. Like she could, like she would just sing it just so softly, but it's so consistently annoying.
Yes.
In
One
her
thing
little
about her, she
Bible
will be
thing.
consistent.
Malia was the cutest when she was a baby. I can't believe she's gonna be 13.
That's insane, man.
She
Time
sound
just
grown
flies.
too. It's crazy.
I know.
She has a
Her
deep
voice
voice too.
changed.
I know. At the service, we were having a serious conversation. Like she's a little woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like whenever I was talking to her, I'm really talking to like a grown Malia.
I
Like that's
know.
crazy. I used to put you down for naps. I used to hit one of these real quick.
Well, see how y'all acting with Malia? That's how I feel about y'all. I put Emerald to bed. Emerald was at my place. I think your parents had you stayed with us, whatever. Maybe it was babysitting. I don't even know. But all of a sudden, I had you in bed and you would not fall asleep. And I rubbed your back till you fell asleep. And I tried to tiptoe and I was like, dang, I got to stay with her the whole time. Mom had her back till she fall asleep. Like, I guess that's what we're doing. But I can't believe like that's how long I've known you, like when you were in diapers. That sounds so wild. Like that's just all I know is I saw you guys growing up and I said I don't want to be that cousin that doesn't know them because I remember being so close to you guys. So it would suck if, in your 20s and your 30s and like I have no idea who you are. I was like, I was just this close to getting to know. Let me just reach out and start talking to them and seeing how they are and let them know like if anything happens, I've been there. If you need someone to talk to, like you can always call me, reach out to me. If it's $20 you need, like I wanted it to be that cool, like that we can just talk. And I think that's why we're still talking to this day. It's like I didn't want to lose y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
No way back.
Like we can't lose us having tea time as kids. And I find that crazy that like some cousins could legit go from having consistent sleepovers as kids at the grandma's house to be tucked in with all of them and have a bunch more cousins in the same place that they are. And they don't talk to any of them when they're grown.
It's the intentionality though. See how I had to actually make an effort to start these chats? Without that intentionality, it just doesn't happen. For real.
Very true.
I feel like that also goes to say like the different dynamics. Like I feel like with Caribbean people, we're very like into each other, and like with non-Caribbean people, not that they're not into each other, not that they can't be close-knit, but it isn't like as urgent to be around each other all the time. Like we're around each other all the time. I guess because like back in Pleasant and stuff, they were just around each other all the time. Everybody's house was next to each other. Sister Bob.
Sister Bob, yeah.
That's what my grandma was always like. Yeah, Sister Bob, them was always down right there. Like yes. Everybody was just so close.
Definitely. And I think that feeds into our origin story. So we can get into that now. So I know for me, Ariel, and Treasure, our parents came down to Texas together on a mission just to start a whole new life. So at my grandma's memorial, I was taking pictures of them. I asked them to take a picture of me, and then I was like, oh, you guys get together and take a picture. And they said, Auntie was like, wow, it's been 20 years since we came down here. And they're like, it's been 20 years already? Oh my gosh.
Blows my mind.
Yeah.
I'm 20 years old. We went when I was like months old.
And yeah, 23 came whenever I was 3. So we were taking a picture, and one thing about Caribbean people, they're going to talk in the middle of a photo.
I know.
Yes, they are.
Like, we cannot get what you're saying in a photo.
Yeah.
They don't, I think that doesn't register completely in them. But whenever I was taking their picture, they said, it's been 20 years since we dared. And I was
that
like,
line.
I was like, wait, let me go ahead and text my cousins this. But then I was like, we have a podcast to do. I'm not. But they're like, it's been 20 years since we dared. And they were talking about like what they went through and how they got to come to Houston. And I thought it was just so beautiful.
Courageous, scary, and to anyone like looking on the outside, y'all crazy. You're leaving. No one leaves Brooklyn. People be staying in Brooklyn. I feel like it takes something really monumental to be like, I'm leaving Brooklyn and I want a whole new life in Texas. I know they made fun of me. They were like, you going with the cowboys and the country people, they're gonna be horses around. Why are you going to Texas for? And I was like, to get out of here, get out of this messy, loud city and want something quiet, more spacious. So I feel like it took a lot of courage as a single parent to make that jump.
Definitely.
Props to them.
Yes. Like, I know that it wasn't easy by any means, but what really helped was the sense of community that they had. And they made it a mission to stay connected no matter what. Like, we stayed in the same apartment complex for a reason.
I know.
Like, my mom decided to work nights because that was the easiest way to be involved in my life and still do what she had to do, which was going to school and working, which I think is like mind-blowing. So yeah, I think that was an amazing decision.
I just remember, I don't remember all the details, but I have a faint memory of Ariel's mom studying for the nursing exam, and the fact that I knew she was doing nursing, I was like, that looks hard, like the big books and everything. And then when she moved from the apartment to the house, I just feel like she had to be so proud of herself, because you don't get a house that nice in Brooklyn. You don't get a house that has your own space and backyard. And she had style too. It was like well decorated, had that pizzazz, had the flowers. I was just like, Auntie got style. She moving on up. She's taking care of her family. She can move in her mom. Like, there's so much space now for all of them. And you can have guests over. I just feel like she had that nice house and did a good job.
Yeah, just want to say, like, I love this house. Like, whenever I come home, I just look around and I'm just so grateful and thankful, because it's just so like just like there's just the thing I love about the way my mom did things is that everything means something. Not everything, but you know, like a lot of pieces are from somewhere. A lot of pieces in this house are pieces that we had in the apartment, pieces that she had in New York. You know, she likes to keep things, but it's nice. Like, I remember when she graduated, because I remember going to her graduation, but I was really young. I remember getting my hair permed that morning. Boo. But yeah. I remember going to her graduation, and of course I didn't really know what it meant. Like, I was proud of her, like, go mom, but like I didn't really know what it meant. And like looking back, like now I know what it means. Like 2 years ago, like right before COVID, I went to my mom's job, because you know, like at UTMB they have like it's the hospital and it's the nursing school. So like in the nursing school part, like her picture is, you know, like class of like 2007, and you know, like her picture's all there, and she was talking about it. And she used to talk about how like I used to cry when she was trying to study, because now I was a baby, but you know, she made it work. She did it with a newborn baby, not newborn, but with a little young baby.
Toddler. Yeah. I remember your mom like having to be like, she comes to our house for lunch and she just be like, me and Aiden, y'all got her taking a break. Like, she didn't say that, but that was the energy. That was the energy. Like, I'm taking a break.
Hello, everybody.
That's my mother.
Hello.
The mama.
That's my mother.
Yeah, the woman in question.
What you talking about me?
How you studied for the nurse exam while you had a little baby.
Yeah.
And then months later bought a nice house, bossed up in life, got out of Brooklyn.
Who is that?
This is Emmy.
No, oh, that's you.
Yeah, this is me. This is Emmy. This is Treasure. This is Naomi.
Hey, Naomi.
Hey.
Yeah, I'll keep this
Tell
in,
them about
please.
your
Oh, I'm keeping this in. This is
about your
gold.
21st birthday.
No.
Oh.
Silence.
I love it.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
You definitely cannot hear us.
She said
So.
I couldn't.
That's being
That's why I
polite.
was waving.
Y'all wave.
She cannot hear y'all.
So those are Caribbean senses for the people that are Caribbean. They got spidey senses.
Someone's talking about me.
Their ears be ringing.
Mhm.
Our moms are like, how would you describe our moms? Like, would you call them like a mixture of classy, but sassy and fun? There's kind of they're career women too. Like they're a lot. There are a lot of different layers to them. They're not just simple. Oh, they just came to the U.S. and they did this. No, they bossed up for real.
Yeah.
Like they're like really great role models, involved in church, involved in community, held it down. I never heard them being in no mess. Like, man, I don't know how they did it. Like,
Because you ain't never heard about it.
that's true. That's for another part of the pod.
That's for later. Well, what about you, Emmy? How would you describe your mom?
Oh yeah, let me hear about this.
Y'all know.
I feel like she's just mysterious. We love a good Miss Fiona. Auntie Fiona.
I feel like there's so many things I can't even think of one.
Go ahead, list them off.
Honestly, my mom is brave.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's one of the big things I would describe her as, a brave person, because she's the oldest with her siblings, and I can't even imagine the life she lives as a pastor's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Her. Dang.
Yes. And I remember there's a time where I thought I was living in Michigan for 2 months, but it was 2 years. And she had to move back to take care of her mom, who was also a nurse. She's a nurse. But my grandma was also from Guyana. She lived in the same house up there in Detroit that my mom and her siblings grew up in. And ever since my mom's dad passed away, I think maybe she was in college, early college or so, my grandma's just been the boss. And I've seen that in my mom as well. And so it's beautiful to look at, honestly. Yeah.
What about you, Treasure? How would you describe Auntie Grace?
I mean, her name is like an easy giveaway, like graceful, but I feel like she has that quiet strength. Like she knows when she's very intentional when she speaks. Like I like when she gets sassy because I don't hear that a lot. But I also know that she's goofy, but she's also like, I'm not gonna just talk just to talk. I'm gonna say what needs to be said at the right time. So people be talking around her, and I'll see her just sit there and just realize like I'm not gonna say nothing. And then when they ask me, I'm gonna say the right thing. And when she drops that knowledge, I'll be like, that was it, mic drop. Like that made sense. All that wasn't just noise, but her comment, it hit. Like when a point lands, she lands the point. I'm just like, can I be that graceful? My gosh. Oh my goodness. So I really admire my mom so much. Yet brave too. Super brave. Because she had to give up a lot for us. Like one time she gave up working to make sure that my surgery could be paid for. Like she stopped working to make sure she can afford to get my surgeries done. Like just the stuff she had to give up and sacrifice. It's crazy. I don't know.
And they did it because they were parents.
They love us. They love us.
Yes. I know how I would describe my mom. It's definitely bold. Everything about my mom is super bold. Like for instance, she also gets herself into things that would stress me out, but she's bold enough to do it. Like she came to America in winter without a winter coat, not knowing fully what winter is, because Caribbean winter is a light breeze, some water. She came to Brooklyn, New York in the middle of winter without her son, had to leave her son in Guyana for the second time because she had to leave him whenever she went to Trinidad for college, because she had to go to college. She had to go to CUC. But she had to go to college to get an education, and she had to leave her son again to start a life in New York with people that didn't treat her the best, with $2 in her pocket.
There's always a little bit of money in the pocket in one suitcase in the story. Every story like that.
I had a little $2 in my pocket, and I know her stories about only having enough money to eat plantains and egg, and that's it. That's all that she could afford, and she just had to make it work. And I don't remember going to her graduation, but I have pictures of her I don't even know if I have pictures, but I just have heard so many stories of her graduation. Because she graduated first in New York, but she's so proud of her accomplishments and will tell you an instance, just like my grandma. Like my grandma, whenever she was alive, she had dementia, like in the beginning when she kept on repeating stories. Her core story was how she went from being a cook to the dean of a school. We say dean. They would say headmistress of a school within a short period of time. But my mom is bold in every single way. Even the way she talks, even the way like she cooks. My mom could never cook for two people.
I love her cooking with all of my heart. I would move into your house just to eat.
Come on, we got room now. Like,
No.
No, come on, because my mom does not cook for one person. We have to send some down to my brother because we have so much food most of the time. But yeah, definitely a bold, funny, innovative person.
How would you describe your mama, Ariel?
Deborah. I don't know. Very, I don't want to say crazy.
You could say
but
that.
It's not even the bad kind. You know, she's very out there with everything that she says. She's very like unconventional with the way she asserts herself, which is something that I try to adopt too. She's very straightforward, you know. Like, and the thing about her, she's very, very nice. She's very, very generous. That's what I love the most about her, is how generous and nice she is to everybody. Like, even to like my friends, you know, like certain friends that have gotten into certain situations, she wanted to do everything that she could to help them, and still does to this day. Because you know how like some Caribbean parents can be, like they don't want to help your little friends, your little white friends, your little outside friends, you know, Leak City friends, but you know, still is very active. I don't want to say like she's active in my friends' lives, but you know, cares about them and has their best interest always.
Definitely. That's one thing that I love about our family, is their sense of family. And it's not just, oh, these few people are our family. We treat these people differently than everybody else. Our family is the type to pull people in to our family, which is a blessing and a curse. I really enjoy that because that has shown, I know that no, you don't know what people are going necessarily. So you always have to help somebody if you are able to. Because I remember one time I got mad at my mom about something, and I was like, Mom, why do you continuously overgive and overextend yourself? Because it's not benefiting anybody, especially not you.
Doing the most, doing the absolute most.
The absolute most. Like, Mom, you don't have to do all this. It's fine to just not. And she's like, well, Naomi, you've never had nothing. And I was like, you're sure right because of your sacrifices, but still.
That's true.
He's like, well,
there is a time and place when they're working hard so they don't have to work hard later. Like, they killing themselves now so they have a moment where they can put their feet up and rest.
That's very true.
I don't agree with it, but you know.
Yeah. That's definitely a future topic about how to set boundaries in a Caribbean household. Because my God.
Yes, there's no. Like, I don't think they like no. I don't think they just pass over it. So you can't do this for me? Oh, the thing I did for you, you can't do the one thing for me? I'm like, absolutely. I'm actually unavailable right now. It's not personal. Like, I'm actually just unavailable. And they don't.
Ugh.
One thing I like about the fact that we had this community is, like, you know, your mom made her shift in the way so you guys could have each other. Is there, that's what you're trying to say? Like, the togetherness, the fact that we had Sabbath lunch. Like, I don't have Sabbath lunch here. So, like, I now realize how important it is to have a lunch together with family. Like, when you don't have that, you know, like, something's missing. I feel, oh, why am I sad? Oh, crap. Like, this is the way I've grown up my whole entire life. Weekly lunches. Like, no matter what happens, you come together, you have your lunch. You can sleep in on Saturday. You had a rough week. You come in, there's lunch for you. You talk your stuff, you see your family. It's like a little mini reunion every week. We had mini reunions every week.
We sure did. Oh, that's one thing I didn't even think to talk about. One thing that I desperately miss about my childhood and Sabbath is going, okay, I won't say going to church, but I will say the lunch aspect of church and after, and then going to Kima or going to main event. Like, I miss having those reunions, like Treasure said. Like seeing you guys and knowing that, okay, no matter what happened that week, I'm going to be with y'all. And it's gonna be fun. Like, even if we get into it, because sometimes we were just all so irritated with each other, but we would just be together and it would all be okay. I definitely miss that.
Everybody needs that, man. And no matter where y'all move to, we all need that, like, to recreate it wherever we move to.
Definitely. Like, that was my favorite part of Sabbath. Like, having the kids' table and just having a great time. Then Treasure moved to the adults' table, and I was like, wow.
Yo, I just thought about that. I literally just thought about how I had this awkward transition where I'm like, I'm an adult now. I don't feel very adultish, and I want to hang out with y'all because y'all conversations be really interesting. But at the same time, I need to be able to, like, mingle, know how to have a discussion, and theirs just be dry. Like, I knew I had to be there just to understand and, like, get to connect with them, but I was just like, I don't really want to talk about this stuff. So I feel like I was in both ends. I still felt like I can mingle. At least I can do both. At least there's some people that can't do both. Like, it's weird when they come to the table, like, why are you here? Like, you're trying too hard. But no. We see what you're doing here.
Right.
But yes, community is important. Sharing a meal, we take that for granted. Like, when you live by yourself, you realize that sharing a meal with someone is, like, the most normal and intimate thing you can do, and, like, such a needed thing. Sharing a meal, having a chat after a long day, like, that's important for real.
That's great. I think that's why it's been so special over like the past 2 years to just be talking to you guys, because it's kind of like that little piece of Sabbath. Like, okay, I know no matter what happens in this week or in the next 2 weeks or the month, I have a cousin chat coming up. We have time to just talk everything out. And we could talk about the good things, the bad things, the past things, the future things we want to do. And it'll all be good and fun. And we'll all take a little bit of weight off each other.
Word.
Yeah.
Talking about gratitude, why don't we all talk about like some core memories of like another cousin that is completely ingrained in your memory and you're just so thankful for?
I have to start with Ariel because literally since I was like 2 to now, I remember just one memory of coming to her house. I think it was when I had moved from Detroit, maybe the first or second time. We were still young. I knocked on her door. The minute we opened the door, the screams, the squeals. Till this day, we still do it.
I know.
I saw her Sunday.
Like we were just at Oakwood 2 weeks ago.
Yes. No, it's really crazy because now I'm thinking about how y'all mothers moved together from Guyana, Brooklyn, Houston, and how in a way me and Ari went to high school together and then now we're in college together.
I know.
And so I remember the times where I will sleep over at her house.
Oh my gosh.
We
would watch High School Musical over and over.
Oh my goodness.
Play Just Dance.
Oh my gosh.
We was in her room with versing each other. Like
we would be sweating, but we would be doing
yes. Like Christmas times at her house was like the best thing that I've always looked for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so honestly,
White Elephant at HWN's house.
Messy and good.
Messy, angry, drama.
No one was safe.
Nobody. If it's your picnic, it don't matter. They are getting robbed, flat out robbed. I had to get. Oh yes. Oh my goodness. Yes, Christmas.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess for me, I also have to say I'm grateful for the relationship that we have now, where for all those years, I know that I can rely on her. Like now that we're both in college and we're both live in our own different worlds and we have our own group of friends, but still I can literally go down the hallway.
I know. We're on the same floor. Yes. We've been on the same floor since our second semester freshman year.
Yes. Literally. We're roommates too.
I know. Right here.
And so I love that's the thing that you can't find no matter how many people, how close friends you have at Oakwood, is that family connection, that family community that you have with your family and your cousins that you do not find. So I'm so grateful that I have that in college. I'm so grateful that even after college we'll still have that.
Yeah.
And yeah,
still have that connection.
Right.
Yeah. I'll miss it though. Like we'll be just like our parents, how they be like, yeah, so I see you, remember I see you, see. We'll be like, yeah, Oakwood.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I cannot wait for us to be like our parents. We're just going to be on the phone, just continuously talking. Oh my gosh.
Just imagine when we graduate, the migration of family members.
I know.
to Alabama.
Bro, just get half the stadium. Just get half the
stadium. I don't think we're graduating in the same year though.
Still though. whether we are or
It don't
not.
matter.
We always will be there for each other.
I
Either way,
know.
I will be back
Everybody
next year.
coming.
Right. However, whatever year, I will be there. we all
We
will be
pulling
there.
up.
Yes.
I hope I'm back on the mainland because I would love to be there.
Mhm.
I'm pulling up deep. Okay, it's gonna be me and Jackie no matter what.
Yeah.
Like we can do first name basis now, right? Like, okay. Great.
I
We
call my
can get a
mom.
hotel together.
I call my mom Jackie consistently. Okay, not to her face though. She's gonna hear this for the first time. Sorry, Mom.
I feel like I'm grateful for, it's so hard to say one thing, but so all three of you guys, first of all, I'm grateful that you guys even want to talk to me. You know, like the age difference and everything. Like I'm
You're
happy
the cool
you guys.
cousin.
Like,
I will
to
say
me,
that.
I'm
I
a dork.
Show your
admire you
age.
I watch
since
my stuff.
birth.
I am dorky. I am slightly cringy. I have my own little rhythm that I do. It's a little bit different. And you guys don't have to talk to me, but you talk to me. So I'm like super grateful for that. And I feel like I'm inspired by all of y'all separately because y'all are all not copycats. Like you guys have your own thing. Like if you look at all three of us together, we have our own vibration, our own thing that we like. Emerald's into fashion and self-care and all this stuff like that. Like all of y'all have your thing. Candles, modeling. I feel like Naomi's been the model. Like this pictures of you looking sassy, walking. Like we knew you was gonna be model, and now you're like model manager. Like to me, you manager of this whole thing. Like you have that naturally in you. And Ariel, like I love Ariel's sass, her comments, her energy. It's like it's called like I'm not trying, but I'm like already it. Like I'm on vacation living my life, but I'm not gonna let you know when I went on vacation, and then all these pictures are gonna pop up that are random but also really trendy. I just like I love all of y'all energy. And I hope that no matter how old I get, I can still look at y'all and be like, what they doing? Okay, let me see what this is about. Let me stay on trend and not be this old lady that's like 25 years back. So I just love y'all energy. I know that we're not that much different in age, but we can all learn from each other. And I'm literally like I'm separately grateful for all the little things and memories we have, and that we can still talk after this huge gap of not talking. We're still talking. To me, that's the huge thing. Like not all cousins vibe together. Sometimes you don't get it right. Sometimes you try, okay, and it just don't. You can't force it. It's just not there. But for some reason, from way back from that picture today, we still have it. And I'm just like, thank goodness. Like I have my other sister, but we don't live close together. So I only saw them like on summers. And I had you guys down the road, like, I mean, that's like sister cousin vibes.
Like, y'all were my sisters.
Oh, we could get into that because first of all, I used to call Ariel my sister from the time she came out the womb. Anybody could fight me about Ariel still to this day. Y'all as well. But whenever she came out, I held her. Nobody else could hold Ariel at all. What do you mean you want to touch her? No. Okay. It's not happening. Even sometimes her mom would get on her about certain things. Don't do it in front of me. It was not happening. It did not fly right. It did not. And I remember Ariel and I used to call each other sisters all the time. And Claude, one of our other cousins,
I know, he wanted to break our fantasy.
Completely. By the way, he's very smart. Love him. But he was like, you guys aren't cousins. And you guys aren't sisters. You guys are cousins. And we're like, no, we're sisters. We live right next to each other. We share a wall. I see her every single day. We are sisters. And I appreciate that so much. Because like, no matter what, I know that Ariel has my back. I have Ariel's back. And then it extends to, I have Treasure's back. Treasure has my back. And it extends to Emmy. We have each other's back as well. Because I know I have that connection with her. Then Treasure, I remember we didn't see each other for years. Like, I remember Nassau Bay, and I didn't see anybody for a while. Like, none of you guys.
Yeah.
Like, I moved to Merrimack, into that house, and I didn't see anybody, and I was completely isolated, and I hated that. I would always tell my mom, like, Mom, like, can we go to Auntie Vivian's house? And I don't remember what she said to me. And I was like, okay. I was like, I I want to see other people, and it just wasn't happening. At least I don't remember it.
Yeah.
But I just remember that time was like just so lonely because I didn't see anybody. And one day I was so excited because I saw a car pull up, and it was Auntie Grace, and it was Treasure, and it was Aiden. And I remember that they gave me an art set. It had like crayons, it had colored pencils, it had like that chalk in there, the oil things. It had like everything that I always wanted because I was a creative person. It had watercolors, and I played with that for forever. But I remember specifically like Treasure being so tall and giving it to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, she's back in my life. And I remember hugging you and hugging Aiden and be like, cool, they're back. I'm not by myself anymore.
Yeah.
And that was just so much fun. And then I remember kind of when Amy came back from Detroit.
For the 5,000th time.
When they back for real, they staying like, sorry.
I think it was, I don't remember which time it was. I think it was the time before you guys stayed for forever. I think it was like the second official time. But I remember seeing you in church more and be like, oh my goodness, I have another cousin.
Oh yeah, that was the second time.
Somebody else to sing with that it was kind of cringing, but still up there. Remember those times, Emerald? Singing with the group?
I was 8 years old.
There's a picture of us all singing, and I'm like, you look like this. And I'm like, they had her up there with us grown folks.
I was literally a child in elementary school singing with the praise team. There were my parents too, and there was you. It was so weird, but yeah.
Y'all look like y'all were having a great time. But what I was gonna say is, I feel like, because I too remember times where I just didn't see nobody for a while. I feel like it's when Auntie Grace started the church is whenever I started to see everybody again.
Thank
because
goodness.
Of course I saw Treasure, and then like Naomi, like y'all started going, and then I feel like shortly after she started it, y'all came back from Detroit.
Yes, this is literally all the same time this happened.
Yeah,
we went to different churches because we were in Gulf Haven.
We
went to Baytown.
Baytown.
I don't know if y'all were there. I don't think your mom could go to Baytown as much as she could go to like, because
I remember going to Baytown every week.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? You went that often? Okay.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure.
I see. I remember that. And then before we went to Gulf Haven, I don't remember a lot of Gulf Haven. I remember I mainly have Baytown memories.
Okay.
Like I remember going to Baytown. I remember leaving Baytown.
I think I had my own set of friends there. That's what it was. Like I got caught up in like the friend scene.
Yeah, I didn't I knew you were there.
Yeah, I was a teenager. I was like my 16, 17. Like I was at that age where I'm just like meeting my friends and start hanging out in Baytown, whatever. I think there's always that disconnect when you go through those periods of like you're a teenager, now you're trying to be independent from your family, but you kind of come back eventually.
Yeah, because I remember Ariel and I would go together, and it would always be at least one of our parents having to take us. Sometimes they would switch off, I think, or be mainly HWN. I'm not sure, but I always remember having Pony. She would give us a little slice of Pony. What is it called? Pone, yes. It was called Pone, but we couldn't say Pone, so we would always say Pony. She would give us little slices of Pony.
How cute.
In a little napkin, and we would take it to church.
I remember hating Baytown services because I was like 6, 7. I was young. And so I remember I would just be there so uncomfortable and bored in that itchy dress. And I would always take off my stockings. And then after the service, my mom would be like, where are your stockings? And I'd be like, I left them in the pew like every week. Because I didn't want to be there. I didn't like Baytown. I liked whenever we started going on to Grace's church much better because it just felt more comfortable. Like, I don't know.
Just us. If it could have been a tad bit smaller, probably would have felt more intimate, but at least it was just us having church. Like, it's just
if it was smaller, there wouldn't be any more people there. At least at
But it'll
first.
feel less empty. It'll feel, I mean, the size is good. Don't get me wrong. The size was a nice church. Like, you have concerts there. Like, the size was good. But it's just when you have a small group of people and the church is big, it makes it look like there's nobody there. And
Yeah.
We had so much room for nothing.
Yeah.
I like the room, though.
But we had room.
A lot of
We had a
rooms.
nice kitchen. We had a nice youth
Mhm.
room. We'll
That-
go up.
We had all the rooms.
I remember we'll go up in the bathroom stall together to change.
Oh my god.
Like,
Bro, you know it was about to be lit when we hit that dash from
yes.
you know
The
exactly.
I'm glad
that's
they
what-
had that back room. Imagine they didn't have that. That back room was like, I think I was too old to be hanging out in the back room, but that back room was lit though. I can tell it was lit back there.
Yes, like we did the dash. All right, church over, done with. We're hitting our final song. We all look at each other. We look at. We grab our change of clothes and we dash to the
I
bathroom.
know.
We all
Those
done
were the
changing. We
times.
dash to the youth room.
Yep.
We had a lunch bell.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I just remember that.
Oh my gosh,
Just
yeah.
remember
I
that.
like
I
it.
remember hearing my mom say, "Ring the lunch bell so they could hear."
I think I want to get a lunch bell when I get older. Like, I have my kids like, it's ready for lunch. I think that's so cute.
So cute. And we would all
Yeah.
hit the dash to go eat first.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
We can't-
those were the days.
Life was so simple. I didn't
So
have
pretty
to
much we
go.
can sum up like, family's important, food is important, weekend outings are important. I feel like those events we have are like what kind of keeps our connection, and struggling together is important. Because when we struggle, we can laugh about it later and be like, yo, that was a hot mess. I can't believe we went through that. We suffered together. That's what really creates bonds. Like, you in this mess and you just suffering. And y'all can look at each other and give each other that face like,
For
Yeah.
example, a very good example of us suffering together, the praise dance team that we had.
Oh,
Oh, I have the video. My mom sent me the video of our group like 2 weeks ago. And we have the pictures. We still have the videos of our practices, our rehearsals, the little
Wow, I
Malia
don't remember.
walking around us as we
oh
were
my
practicing.
gosh, that's so cute.
Treasure,
they
why
hired a teacher, right? They hired a teacher. I heard that as much.
Her.
First and last time we saw her. I don't know what happened to her.
But she was good though.
She was.
What happened?
But I will say because of that, that's why I love praise dance to this day.
I
I'm so
know,
glad
I
you
feel
did.
like that's
I'm so glad you did. You look
Yes.
so angelic and feminine, and like,
Mhm.
you just look so nice when you do it.
Mhm.
right. And that was the thing that I found for me, like my little
Yeah.
niche. So I just took after that, I took and ran with it. But during that time, it was a mess.
It was messy because they couldn't let it happen. That's all I'm gonna say. They couldn't let the good things happen.
I know.
The thing is, if we could have vibed with it, it would have been amazing. But we just all couldn't vibe with it together. But I am so glad that you, Emerald,
Mhm.
loved it.
I still have that dress, the praise dance dresses. Like,
You still
I felt
have it?
official. It was red.
Yeah.
Remember, it was red.
Yes,
Mhm.
the blood of Jesus.
I know.
Oh, God.
Amen. Shout out with me now.
No.
The blood. No, okay.
I'm
But-
thinking though, like, back then y'all tried it and it didn't work, but y'all have found something that each works for you. Like, they tried to make Emerald sing, but Emerald's not really like, it's not her thing. Like, she can hold a note, but that's not really her thing. I gravitated towards it because it was my thing, and she did her thing. And Naomi has her thing that she's really, really good at. It works for her. Ariel has her thing she's naturally good at. You can't force people. You can introduce it to them, but if they're not taking to it, gotta move on and do something else.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You just got to.
And we'll talk all about that trauma in future
The smile. All that trauma we went through.
Trauma.
Ugh, I can tell you stories about that too.
Oh, we'll get into it.
I can't wait.
Oh my goodness, y'all. We have like
This is
a
good.
for real podcast.
Oh my
Like,
God.
We have a lot to talk about.
Yes.
we can talk.
So much to talk about. So there's a car in front that I'm not sure about. Anyway, but we have like a for real podcast that we all like are going to enjoy and grow in and be amazing in. This is so exciting.
It's the beginning.
Yes, the beginning, the genesis of everything. I'm excited. So, all right. So, any other things to share? Any other thoughts that come to mind?
I will say for me, because since I moved back and forth a lot, it was just sad, but I guess in a good way, beneficial somehow. I missed out a lot of the core like experiences, but I am glad that each time that I moved to Detroit, I came right back to the same area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, without fail. When we moved back, I can't even tell you. I moved back maybe the second time. We moved back to the same complex.
Sure
the
did.
same people remembered us from when Malik was first born. That was 2009, maybe back 2016. They still remember us. So I'm so glad that we came back to something and we had something to come back to.
Yo, and y'all moved back on the same street, like Upper Bay Road, and where y'all live is like right down the road from each other. That's a nice spot to live. To grow up, that was a nice spot to grow up because there's so many little different things to do around that area. Nice upbringing, you know.
And the water, like in the docks and the boats and all that, like that's just right there, and it's beautiful.
Fireworks and 4th of July, like I loved that spot so much.
Yeah.
The
Do y'all
park was
remember
cute.
going to Target in the parking lot because it was too crowded at Kima? You could never find parking. We would sit in the Target parking lot and watch the fireworks.
I remember our little barbecues and stuff at Auntie Grace's house. I miss that when I moved to Detroit. We didn't have none of
those were
that.
the barbecue. Yeah, those were always fun. What happened
do the
to
electric
those?
slide in the backyard.
I used to do it for like
the
Easter.
House.
They had the Easter. That's gonna be sold eventually, but the Easter barbecues and the picnics and
Memorial Day
at the park.
Stuff. We found something to do. Whatever
and
holiday
then
it was,
Serena
we gonna meet up.
Samindra would be here. Like we would like it was always something going on.
Yes, I remember I would get so excited when they came because I was like, okay, great. They get to finally come to maybe event with us at Kima. Let's go.
They would have a ball.
Yes. And they would just add to it. I loved it. But yeah, every single time that you like came back, Emmy, it felt like everything was complete again. Like it just felt like, oh, thank God she's back. Y'all held her captive. Like, dang.
Come through. But to me, the sad part is the cousins that couldn't come back because they moved and that was that. Like I really missed out on Kelda's like watching her grow up. Like I got to really watch Emerald grow up. Like I remember Emerald being like dorky. She always had style, but like you go to that, everybody goes to that dorky phase where you're like, you're not sure of yourself and stuff like that. And then to see the glow up, I was just like seeing all of y'all separate glow up. Seen pictures of Ariel, the braces. Everybody got their acne and their nose is all shiny and everything. And then the glow up is just so nice. So I just missed out on seeing Kelda's glow up because Kelda's like gorgeous.
Her hair, just her skin, just everything.
She everything.
Yeah, there's definitely a few people that would miss the glow up. O'Shea, I would have loved to keep on growing up with him.
Oh, y'all were always at it.
Y'all
grew up like siblings.
Yes, I love to harass him. I think that's why I'm so rough now. Because like
your brothers too, though. You got your brother too, like.
I do have Javon. I do have Javon. I swear he's just throwing me around. But yeah. Oh my goodness. I didn't even think about the cousins that we didn't get to grow up with. I always think of them as just like they're gone.
I know. I sang with them a lot. Like I used to go to Auntie Janice's place and sing with her every Friday night. Her and Kelda. We had a group.
Oh yeah.
And we really tried with these praise teams, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We really tried. Oh my gosh.
What thing we gonna do? We gonna sing.
Okay. We're gonna keep trying too, whether it sounds nice or not. We're gonna keep trying.
Yep.
I remember my mom was like, why don't you go up there with you? Absolutely not. You see their eyes. They don't even want to do this.
No.
You see their eyes.
Hours upon hours.
And that's one thing I told myself as an adult, like, I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. And there are certain things you have to do, whether you don't, but there are certain things you don't have to do, and you're just forcing yourself to do it. Like, I'm just not going to do something half-heartedly. I believe I'm going to do it because I love it, and y'all going to know I love it because my energy is like, I want to be here. When I used to go to other churches and people like, I was like, y'all don't want to be here. Y'all killing my vibe. I'm trying to sing praises to God. You looking like, I was like, I will never do that to myself ever again. So I'll turn down anything. I'm like, no, I'm not into it. Not feeling it. Don't want to do it. Not going to do it.
Exactly. I feel that too. I think that's just a life thing. I am not doing nothing I don't want to do. That's always been me. You can't force me to do anything. Ask my mom. She tried to make me go to college. She tried to make me be a nurse.
I'm glad you listened. It's an expensive lesson for real. It's an expensive lesson. So if you don't want to do it, don't do it. It's a waste of money. Exactly. If you in it, be in it. If you out, be out.
Yep. Gotta be able to put my foot in it. If I can't, I'm not gonna do it.
With cooking too, shoot, we can go on and on about that. If you really want to put your foot in, put your foot in. If not, don't make it. Don't do it.
All right, so I feel like we said a lot. We've dropped a lot of gems. People kind of know a little bit more of who we are. So, Emmy, what have you been listening to? She's been waiting, y'all. She's been waiting. I saw both the TikToks, bro.
Okay. So, my favorite artist, Mr. Kendrick Lamar, released his 5th album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. He also celebrated the album release in Africa, which is nice. But yes, so this is a double album, which I did not know until I was listening halfway through the album. But it's a double album, 18 tracks. And the thing that I love about this album, and all of his music, but specifically this album, is a lot of his songs he's talking about healing. And with him as a rapper, that's so rare. A lot of time you just hear him the same things over and over and over. Oh, I did this, got in the club, drugs, blah, 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 she, you know. But he makes it so personal. This was a really personal album. But yet, in a way, he turned it into bops. And so I love the creativity and the vibes. And my top song on the album is Rich Spirit. Go listen to it. It pretty much tells you in the title. It's the spirit of being rich, but yet in a low-key manner, which I feel like it just fits him because you can really see his personality in every single song. And so, yeah, I loved it. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't like it. I guess because it wasn't, it's boppy or whatever trendy as the other rap music or what his previous albums were. But honestly, the album represented his stage in his life. And then this stage in his life, he's not trying to please anyone. He just wants to create music. And this moment in his life, this is what he felt. And he released it, whether he liked it or not. It's out.
So, I feel like I'm also in that stage of my life. I don't give a single shit what y'all think about me.
And you know what's funny? One of the songs,
I'm gonna do it anyway.
One of his songs, the one line that really stuck out with me was, "You can't please everybody." I was like, that's deep for me as a person who's a creator, who is a creative mind. And a lot of, especially music industry, a lot of it is some way catered to the audience, unless you're the type of artist who's like, oh, I don't care what anyone really thinks. I just want to do what I want to do. But the same thing goes out with being creative and putting out content into the internet, But he's like, I can't please everybody, and so I'm gonna do this. I choose me. I'm sorry. That's another line from his last track. I choose me. I'm sorry. It's deep. Y'all gotta check it out. I could talk all day. But anyways, yeah.
I feel like that completely just ties into like everything that we basically said about our upbringing, our parents. They really didn't care what other people thought. they decided to choose them and choose us and choose our community, which also happened to be us. And they didn't care, they did it anyway, and we turned out amazing for it. So yeah. Well, we're done with our first ever official episode.
Perfection. Blah, 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 blood.
See, I got you. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy to be doing this with y'all.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. And this all started with a little tea and some cakes on a couch. That was definitely brought from Brooklyn.
I don't know what we was eating. I don't know where it came from. I just put something on a plate and served it, and here we are.
Yep.
That's crazy. That was a bunch of years ago, and look where we are now.
Hey, one thought can do a lot. One thought can spiral into amazing, beautiful things, and here we are.
Intentionality too, because we had the intention to reconnect again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we had to.
Our mothers.
Yeah, and we had to intentionally figure out how to make a podcast happen, and we figured it out, y'all. That's crazy. That's wonderful. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it on up. I love y'all so much, and I'm happy for where I'm looking forward to exactly where this takes us in the future. All right, any final words for y'all? What are you guys looking forward to doing with this podcast?
I'm looking forward to grow as a person, as you know, with you and everyone else here, and with my other friends and my other cousins and other people that I meet, you know, in life. You know, I'm just excited to see where this takes us as individuals and us as together. You know.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it takes skill to get your point across, and so I want to continue practicing how to make the point and land it, and the growth that will happen, and being able to do a project with family. I feel like that's going to keep our bond, continue growing our bond. And so when we look back, we're like, your parents, your aunties one day got together and decided to do a podcast, and here it is. Like, it's online, you can check it out, and it's going to be like, it's memorialized, like we did this. And I'm excited for now and for later.
Yes. What about you, Ari?
I'm just happy to be here.
Period. I'm really excited to see how this not only, well, of course, grows us, but I'm very excited to see how this impacts our family's growth, our family dynamic, not just between us four, but I know there is room for growth in other cousin relationships that we have. And also outside of our own family. Like, I wonder how many cousins we could impact to get to reconnect to their family.
Yeah.
And just hopefully hearing those stories would be amazing. Like, I cannot wait for the first comment that we get that says, hey, I decided to text my cousin that I haven't talked to in a while. And just catch up with them. And it's been great.
Or recommending our next topics. I'm excited for the topics we're gonna do, and then the topic recommendations we can kind of start doing as well. I want to hear those.
Look at you segueing. So if you have any comment,
exactly.
If you have any topic recommendations, go ahead to our Instagram at Tea Time with the Cousins. Mm-hmm. And go in our comments or go in our DMs and recommend whatever topics that you want to see featured here, because we're first generation Caribbean American cousins just having candid conversations with each other. All right,
and that's
y'all.
A wrap.
And that's a wrap.
I'm out this piece.
Oh my goodness. No, okay.
Oh, them titties are titties.
I do it one time. Put it back in the holster. That was fun.